guys, so what are we doing today? Hang this up out of the way so y'all can see me as I am. Well, as you can see, I'm sitting here on the boat in the garage when my full intent was for the next 3 days to get out on the water and fish. Last week we had several days in the 70s, some even in the 80s, and I looked ahead to this week. My day off was today. I said, okay, I'm gonna take off the 2 consecutive days after this and get out on the water and do some fishing. Saw lots of posts online over the weekend when it was still 70, 80 degrees outside. People were catching everything from crappie to snakeheads to bass. Pretty much every kind of fish you can imagine was biting because it is that season. So, looking ahead to this week, I assumed that I would be out here this morning fishing. But on yesterday and the previous day, we had rain and a cold front has come through. Right now it is, to be accurate, I'll look at my watch. It is 10:30 in the morning. It is also on my watch supposedly 51 degrees, but that's not accurate because I just checked and it's 40 something degrees, and it feels much colder than that because the wind is blowing between 15 with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. And for all you diehard fishermen that get out in that weather like I used to when I was probably in my early 20s to mid 20s, yeah, I get out there, put on a hoodie, gloves, whatever, and get out there and fish anyway. But even having not even gotten out of the house this morning, my back is hurting, my leg is hurting. All those things that I used to laugh at my elders, uncles, aunts, grandfather, grandmother, about how they felt when the temperature would change like that. Well, it was funny then and it's not funny now. So the long and short of it is that I am here in the garage making an update video, one for this fishing trip that is not happening today, as well as some things we got coming up for the Maverick. And I know guys, I promised you guys that we were getting up to some things that were about to happen for the Maverick. I even actually looked at possibly trading in my Maverick and upgrading to a newer version, but I decided against that based on interest rates and things like that. So, and there's nothing wrong with my Maverick. I got about 35,000 miles on mine now, so it's just getting broken in, and I'll actually pay that thing off in about a year and some change. So yeah, I'm just gonna hang in there with the Maverick. I have gotten some stuff in for the Maverick. A few weeks back, I did do a partial video on removing those mirror covers, those plastic hydro dip to look like carbon fiber mirror caps that we had on there, and they were a bear to get off. And in the meantime, I ended up using my wife's hair dryer to heat that up so that it would
okay guys, I'm fixing stuff that has been irritating me for a long time. You know how you put off stuff and you put off stuff, and I've been telling you guys I was gonna do some stuff on the Maverick, but for whatever reason I cannot find my heat gun in my garage. No way, no how. So don't tell my wife, but I'm using her hair dryer because I've got to get these mirror covers off. They're faded, they're nasty looking, they don't look like carbon fiber, they just look like junk, and it really detracts from the rest of the vehicle. So I'm going to take my wife's hair dryer, I'm going to heat this plastic piece of junk, and I'm going to pull it off, and hopefully the painted mirrors look as good as they did when I actually put all this stuff on there. So hang on. Now, I didn't put too much heat to these things because it's cold out here. They might just pop off without a whole lot of trouble, or I could be wrong and they may be very hard to pop off. They may be so well. This might be the latter because I cannot get these things to budge. So I'm gonna really heat them, and then I'm gonna try to pop them off.
And I still end up prying them off with a plastic pry bar. Yeah, they were hard to get off. That double-sided 3M tape, when you stick that stuff on there, don't expect for it to come off easily, and it didn't.
Okay guys, I was able to get that cover off, but with a lot of heat, a lot of careful prying, but it left a lot of sticky residue on here. I've had to try to get off, and yeah, but I guess you could say it did protect these mirrors from any scratches or anything. But yeah, I still got to get the residue off, and it's starting to rain now, so I'm only able to do one side because obviously I can't run the heat gun out there in the rain. And as you can see, my garage is still a mess. I'm still working on some things, so that's all we're going to do with that. But I will say this, these things looked like this when I bought them. I thought, that would be a nice addition, but this is what they look like when I just took them off. Hideous. So, do I recommend putting these covers over your mirrors? I would have to say no, but what we are going to do is something a little less cumbersome and a little less detrimental to the mirrors, but we're gonna have to wait till a warm day to do that.
It was cold outside, even though I was using a hair dryer. In the meantime, I was able to locate my heat gun that had been eluding me. It was right where I put it. It was actually marked in a bin that says power tools with all of my other power tools. Sometimes when you organize stuff, you get so organized that you forgot what you organized and where you put it. So that being said, we have some stuff to do to the Maverick. When I took those off, there was some of the stickum residue left. I attempted to remove it with one of those rubber wheels that is actually used for removing adhesive, but I got a little too robust with it, and I actually took off some of the paint on the driver's side mirror, I believe. So I had to order some touch-up paint, but we're also going to do something with those mirrors so we don't have to worry about this again. But before I can do that, I need to do the touch-up paint, which is kind of expensive considering what you get. Basically a paint pen in which you have the paint as well as a clear coat. Wasn't a big spot, but it was big enough for me to see, and as critical as I am of things not looking right, yeah, it bothered me. So the problem is the weather has not cooperated. It needs to be above 50 degrees on a very warm day outside when I can do that. And with all the pollen that we've had in the last 2 weeks, I mean, literally I couldn't even wash my car. The pollen was so heavy that my car no longer looked like hot pepper red. It looked like hot lemon pepper, with lemon being the key color. So yeah, we had the rain the last few days. It's washed the pollen down, so I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna be good. But no, the temperature is not going to be warm enough today. Even at the high today, it's supposed to be around 51 degrees. And when you have a 25-mile-an-hour wind blowing dust and dirt and everything, that too becomes an issue when it comes to painting. Now, in the past, I've pulled my Maverick right in here in the garage and turned a little heater on in here and get busy. But I have an 18-foot boat in here now, and it's going to stay in here, and we'll just have to get the Maverick in here when we get a chance. While we're on the subject of Mavericks, along with the things that I have wanted to do, there were some things that I would like to have not had to do, and that was to make an appointment for another recall. In the past year till now, I've had 2 recalls done, which had to do with reprogramming control modules on the Maverick. One problem came about after the previous thing was done to fix some other thing. In other words, all of you guys who have a 22 Ford Maverick know that you've gotten a number of recalls, some of which they say they don't have a fix for yet, which is one of them that has to do with the battery and cables. And I sometimes I get so disgusted I don't read the whole thing. I just like, and they said there was no remedy at that time. So I was like, why am I even reading this? And let me know when you have a remedy, So anyway, the first recall last year that was brought to my knowledge, they said we can come and fix it where your vehicle is. So they came to my job, reprogrammed the ECU module, whichever one it was that they had to do some work to. And I thought it was convenient that they could come to my job, and I, wasn't in a take off work or make an appointment. So that part was good. But when I got the vehicle back, something that had never happened before, my rear view camera started locking up. I mean, you go to put it in reverse and you get like a frozen picture, which is absolutely makes that camera worthless. And matter of fact, can be pretty dangerous if you're looking at it. So here recently, of course, there was another recall, and I got a call from the dealership saying, hey, you have a recall. We can come out to your job like we did before and take care of that. So that was done a couple of days ago. And hopefully, and here is my thought, and maybe I'm a conspiracy theory kind of guy, maybe not, maybe it's just something in my head, but why does it seem like after a recall is taken care of, you have more problems with other things? And now that I'm not under warranty, I'm a little bit skeptical about having a lot of stuff reprogrammed or done at the dealership, because if there's anything that's messed up now or goes bad that is not listed in a recall, I'm going to be thinking, was that like that before they did the reprogram and the recall? Or was it something that was caused by them doing that? And now it's going to be on my dime because it's no longer under warranty. So you guys tune into this channel who have been with me ever since we got the Maverick. I know you guys want me to do more Maverick stuff, and I intend to do so. I actually have some stuff that was ordered, and it's some, I don't want to be too specific about it, but it's some exterior stuff that we're doing to the Maverick. It's going to make it, it should take it next level, in my opinion. But some of the colors and things that were involved with this product apparently is on back order or something. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to get back to doing more Maverick stuff. You'll see me out there. And we have much better camera equipment, which I have had to learn how to use. But please continue to keep up with us here on CS92LX channel. And we'll be getting back. I mean, the weather is not always going to be 40 degrees. Tonight is going down, they're saying around 29 degrees, which means we could have frost. And those who have plants, you better bring them inside, because when it gets down that cold, it could damage them. But yeah, you guys that tune in, give me your thoughts on these recalls. All of us who bought the first generation Maverick, who got the very first ones that came out, certainly I'm not knocking that. I'm still, if I had it to do over again, I've said it before, I would still purchase the Maverick that I did, even though we had a number of recalls. None of them to me was very of a serious nature or making me feel like I shouldn't have got this vehicle. None of them were like that. So yeah, when you buy a first run of any vehicle, sometimes you're subject to a number of recalls, and yeah, we get that. But I wouldn't have traded any of the journey that I had and all the stuff that I was able to broadcast on this channel for you guys who were purchasing your Mavericks or had ordered your Mavericks. So yeah, it was a learning tool for me, and I pray and I thank God that it was a learning tool for you. One of the things that I intend to do, if only I can get anybody that's as brave and as adventurous as I am. You all who have been on the channel or have tuned into the channel any length of time know that I do a lot of car, or have done a lot of car racing, even have raced the Maverick at the drag strip and at the Dominion Road course, which Dominion Raceway is not too far from where I live. Now, they have on Friday nights a no prep type drag events where you can bring whatever car you have, sign up, pay a small fee, and drive. I'm not sure if they're running the eighth or the quarter mile, but either way, it is a drag type event. Now, I am fully willing to meet any of you guys at the drag strip with your Maverick, and we will run best 2 out of 3. Any of you guys. I see you guys on the Maverick forum, the Maverick Truck forum. I see you guys. I see some people who have some performance mods on theirs. Mine is not heavily modded. I mean, I got an exhaust system and a K&N air filter. I mean, other than that, other than being lowered, I don't have any advantage on anybody else. But I have yet to have anybody meet me at one of these events to even participate. The last time I went to the drag strip, I threw the gauntlet out there. Anybody was willing to bring their Maverick and race me at MIR, Maryland International Raceway, and nobody showed up. But I got a few responses. Well, I don't want to. I'm afraid to wreck. I'm afraid I might blow something. All those things. I mean, hey, if that's how you feel, then yeah, cool. I understand that. But no one. I've seen people on these channels that race their Mavericks and do things like that. So, is anybody brave enough to meet me at Dominion Raceway? Now, if you are, comment at the end of this video. Leave it down in the comments. We will meet. We'll get as many as we can together, and we'll meet up down at Dominion Raceway on a Friday night when they have these drag events, and I will run whoever comes. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll have like a little mini drag event with just Mavericks, and you put up a little prize for the person who wins at the end. Best, qualify, best whoever beats whoever's standing at the end of the night as the fastest Maverick, or who actually makes it to the finish line first, because all of you guys know the person with the fastest vehicle does not always win. So I'm putting it out there. Anybody who wants to, the challenge is here. Meet us, Dominion Raceway. We'll set up the date on a Friday night, and we'll do it. So that's the video for today. I'm going to sit here, eat my bowl of cereal, and dream cereal, and I'm going to dream about what could have been for today had the wind and the temperature cooperated. But as for me and my boat, we're not going out on the water and when it's going to be 43, 44 degrees with a 20, 25 mile an hour wind. It's not that important to me to get out there today. So you all enjoy. See you on the next video. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.